I have a cold. um, I'm just starting the video with that because it's good. I'm already messing this up. Yeah. I wanted to do a little chat video type thing because I found something in an old bag of mine, and I thought I would actually tell you guys a little anecdote to go with this. Um, because it's funny and my internet seems to be not working right now, so I may as well do something while I'm bored and waiting for my dinner to be cooked by my parents. And yeah, I started with saying I have a cold because you can probably hear it in my voice. I just got over a cold for like that lasted a month, and now I have another one. I'm so upset. Anyway, let's go. Let's tell my little anecdote. So this would have been when I was about 20. Was I 20? I think I was about 20. And I worked in admin, answering phone calls and customer service type thing for a government department. It was really boring and I hated the job. But I loved the people I worked with. I had a really great team and we all had a laugh and a joke, and it was good. It was alright. It was good money. It was the best paid job I've ever had. Sorry, I have a mouth ulcer on here and it really hurts. So anyway, I was working at this place, and because it was a government department, it was high security sort of thing. It wasn't really that bad, but we did have bomb alarms as well as fire alarms just in case there was a bomb. We never had anything like that happen, luckily. But we did have passes we had to show whenever we went in. We had there was security guards at the gate every day. You showed your pass and then you weren't allowed in. So obviously, in the morning you say good morning, show a pass, you just walk in, no problem, fine, easy, never a problem. It was like always fine. And a few times I saw like there was different security guards each day, and some were more friendly than others. There was one really grumpy one, but I think he got to I don't know, I think he started to relax and started actually saying good morning to us now. Anyway, so there was one security guard that was like, I think he was the youngest probably because they were all different ages and that. And so one day I walked in, normal day, good morning, show pass, and then this young security guard was like, hang on, can I see your pass there for a second? And I was like, oh crap, oh what have I done, oh god, no, I thought I'd done something wrong. I thought something was wrong with my pass. I thought there was any of matter of wrong things happening. So I showed him my pass. I was like, oh god, here we go. And he was like, oh, I just wanted to know what your name was. My name's Steve, by the way. And he put his hand out for a handshake. And I was like, what? What? Steve, what? So I was like, oh, okay, this handshake, hello. Hi. I just sort of like ran into work like terrified. I was, at the time, I had been with Phil for about 3 years. I think 3 years. I was 20, so it would be about 3 years. But I was still under the impression that like nobody ever had a crush on me or fancied me or anything like that. I'm still basically under that impression. I just see myself as unfanciable. I don't know. I mean, I have a boyfriend, so that's all I really need. I don't need anybody else. But so at the time I was like, what? Does this guy like fancy me? What's going on? I was like so confused. It was funny. So anyway, under this impression that nobody could ever fancy me, I just went into work. And I told a couple of my work colleagues about it and a couple of my closest friends on the team. And we started joking on about it and saying, oh my god, I really fancies you, oh my god. And ever since then, he was like really overly friendly if he was at the security guard at the gate. Like if we were going home, I used to walk like out of work with my friend Tara, because she used to give me a lift home because my buses didn't run after 6 o'clock, which of course I worked 10 till 6, so that was really non-useful. So I used to get a lift home from her. And then we walked out and I was like, oh my god, that's him, that's the guy. And she was like, oh my god, what? And he was like, bye. I was like, oh my god, run away. So that was a thing. So that went on for like about a month or so. Um, Sorry, I have a runny nose. It was beautiful. So that went on for about a month or so. And it was only a temporary job, so I was due to like finish in a few months after that anyway, but that's beside the point. Um, the one time, trying to think where the story's going here. Oh yeah, we did overtime once on a Saturday. Never again. I will never work overtime on a Saturday again. Nightmare. But I did get extra money for it. So when we did the overtime, we were based in a different office to where we normally work, but we could go down to the office where we normally work, get like a mug and hot chocolate. I had hot chocolate. Other people had coffee and tea. Get pens and notebooks and stuff. So I arrived a bit later than everybody else, so I went down to the office, picked up my stuff by myself. The office was empty. It was quite scary actually. And then I saw this note on my desk. It says Sarah, and it has little red stars around it. And I was like, what is that? It's a bit crinkled because I had it shoved in this bag. I had shoved it in this bag for years and I hadn't checked, like, looked in the bag until, like, recently. And I found the note and I was like, oh my god, I remember this. Anyway, this note, right? Guess who it's from? It's from War Steve. What's a very Geordie way of saying that? It's a kind of a long gushy note and it's kind of embarrassing, so I'm not going to read it. Basically saying how he fancied me and stuff. And he said that the Friday beforehand was his last night. This last night before he started a new job. So basically, he was like leaving this security guard job and doing something else. And at the end of the note, he'd left his phone number. Now, I had a number of questions with this because his hand. Well, I'm being general here, but I thought this was a joke note from my colleagues. Because it's the kind of thing that they would actually do, like, as a joke, and it is actually kind of funny. Like, we would have actually found it really funny. I would have found it funny anyway. So his handwriting looks rather feminine to me. I don't know if you can actually see it. But to me, it looked kind of feminine, and on the note as well, it kind of just looked... I mean, I'm being really general here. Like, it could have been him. I don't know, but that's just one thing I thought was a bit strange. And also the star stickers, that's a little bit strange. That's a little bit strange. I don't know how old this guy was. He was probably in his early 20s. But it was just a little bit weird to me. I was like, hang on a sec. This could be a prank. Nonetheless, I never did call that number or text it. Think about it now, I kind of wish I did, just out of the curiosity to see whose number it actually was, because if it was a prank, it obviously wouldn't have been Steve's number. But if it was his number, then what would I say? Because I had a boyfriend and I wasn't gonna, I wasn't interested in him. I should have just texted him and said, look, I have a boyfriend, deal with it, and let him down. But I never did text the number, and now it's too late. I can't text now because it might have changed his phone if it is his number, and I can't do that. It's just really awkward. It's been years since then. It's been like 2 years since then. And at the end of the note as well, I had like kisses on the note, and that was just like, it's really weird. It's really creepy, man. I only knew this guy's name, and that was it. Like, I knew what he looked like in his name, and that was it. So I didn't know anything else about this guy, and he's sending me like a note with like kisses on the end. I was, oh, creepy. Oh my god, if this guy ever watches this video, I'm so sorry. I have the same hair color and everything, so he did definitely recognize me. Anyway, so yeah, I never did call the number. I just shoved a note in my bag. I didn't even tell my colleagues about it because I didn't want to in case it was a prank and they like sort of laughed or something. So I never did anything about it. I just sort of hid it and found it now, and yeah. So that was my anecdote. I don't know how interesting that even I don't know how interesting that even was. I just wanted to share that with you. I have other anecdotes from that job as well. I have like so many stories from working there. So funny. Some of them I probably shouldn't share with the internet, but I might do anyway because we'll see. We'll see how much I can censor them to hide identities. But yeah, I have some great stories from when I worked there. That was probably the best one. um, Funny thing is, he said in the note that it was his last shift, and then he was moving to a new job, and I never saw him again. So I don't think it might not have been a prank. It might have been real. Oh my god, so awkward. I couldn't have rung it. I couldn't have texted. I have a kind of like a fear of ringing people anyway. Like I'm so awkward about that, and I just get so panicked about it. So I couldn't have done it. But man, it's just so awkward. How awkward. Anyway, that's my story. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want me to tell more stories from my work life and experiences, I have another story of a guy fancying me. If you want to hear that, from the same job as well, just a different person. I might tell our story one time. That's the end. I'll see you guys sometime.